What's up, my name is Devin, also go by Infinite or Prop by Infinite, and today I'm going to be breaking down my top 3 favorite loops that I just dropped in my Mirage loop kit, which is a free loop kit that you could download right now. So after breaking down these loops, I'm going to leave a link in the description that has all 20 loops for free that you could download right now. And if there's any other ones that you want me to do a breakdown for, type it in the comments and let me know. One last thing before we do get into the video though, please subscribe, because it came to my attention that a large percentage of y'all are not subscribed. That's crazy. Let's get into the video. So first, we're gonna start off with some summer blast vibes. 92 BPM. This one is called Eagle. This is what it sounds like. And then we're gonna do a little breakdown. So here's really like the secret sauce for these guitar blast beats. If you want to make them from scratch without an actual guitar, you really just got to rely on these like high quality contact banks. The one I'm using specifically is the Evolution Hollow Body Blues. This one is by Orange Tree Samples, I want to say. And I use the B Kingly preset right here. And something else that can have it sound a little bit more realistic is guitar rig. I know a lot of guitar players really like using guitar rigs, so sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. In this case, I ended up muting it because I just didn't like how it sounded on there, but I do have an EQ cutting out the lows and ducking a little bit of those low mids, and then also just some reverb on here, bro. And then with the melody, all it is just like a regular chord progression, but it's just strummed out. So if you just go like this, it's really just a regular chord progression. So when you're trying to make these melodies, make the chords first, then break it out. Now, I really wanted that guitar to be like the main star of the show, so everything else is just kind of like accenting it, you know what I mean? So I got the BBC Symphony Orchestra right here from Spitfire Audio. This is a free VST right here. Got the Long Strings Violin 2 preset, and I'm just kind of like following the chords, to be honest, man. You know, just like super simple like that. It's really just something in the background. Then for the bass, I really like this bass right here for like the smoother blast Kalen type stuff. The bulbous bass out of Trillion. Nothing too crazy. The only thing that I would mention here is that this part right here is kind of matching the chords and the melody that's right here. You know what I mean? So if you're ever kind of in a spot where you don't know what to do with your bass line, sometimes matching it up with the actual melody is an easy, safe way to go. Just got this cymbal right here, just for a little ear candy, a little accent. And then just to sauce it up, gotta throw the lead in there, man. I love throwing leads on any type of melodic, cool, wavy stuff that I do. This one right here is the Triangle Space lead, and the effects on it, it's just reverb, bro. Just some reverb, man. All right, now we're on to the next loop. It might take a second for the FLP to pop up. It might take a second to load up, man. Completely different vibe from the last one. Get into breaking it down. So the first thing that I started with on this one is this guitar pattern. I'm using the Ilya F-Move nylon guitar right here on the main preset, and then for the effects, all I got is guitar rig on the acoustic multi preset. I just got it like turned down on the mixer knob, so not like the whole effect ain't playing. I got the reverb right here, and then I just got the EQ right here, bro. Boom, on the acoustic guitar preset. And with this, it's just something like really dark and repetitive, something that's kind of like walking up and down and stuff like that. So it's really just following all of these like darker notes within the scale. Just super repetitive, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's cool to be repetitive. Next, just for the dark vibes and the ambiance and everything like that, got the SRX piano. We just took that root note, dropped it down a few octaves, you know what I mean? My favorite D piano note, man. That's like my go-to one for sure. And then personally, what I think is kind of like the star of the show is the Spitfire solo violin. This one is not free like in the other loop, but it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know if I recommend this one though, because it's like $100, and when you really break it down, it's only one preset. You know what I mean? Because like there isn't any other presets that you can go to. Like it's just this one sound. You can change it by like messing with the closeness, the far, the dynamics, the vibrato, expression, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just one preset. Is it a good preset? Yes, sir. But I don't know if I can put the infinite stamp of approval on it and be like, yeah, this is crazy. You need to get this because it's $100. It's like $100, bro. But with that being said, this is the pattern that I ended up doing with it. It's super simple. Then I have that same pattern and preset just layered with an octave down. Then, just for the vibes, tubular bell. Shout out Lucky. And then just like ear candy stuff, I got Keyscape open. It's just a piano, just the very first preset right here. And it has reverb on it and an EQ. And it's just playing one note. And then to really tie everything together, I got these vocals right here, which are from the Legacy kit, which is available on gatekeepsounds.com. So if you do need some fire vocals, samples, midis, all that, it's one of my best kits I've ever made, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. And then a cool little triangle riser right here, man. I mean, classic West Coast stuff, none too crazy. This loop right here, all of the technical stuff in it isn't that hard. I'm more relying on just like high quality, really good sounds. You know what I mean? Because like I'm confident any one of my like viewers, followers, anything, whatever y'all want to call yourselves, people who are watching this video, like anybody could have made this. You know what I mean? Like this is a very simple, easy pattern to make. But I'm using like high quality guitar, you know what I mean? Anybody could have made this, high quality strings, stuff like that, but it's just like well put together. I would like to say well mixed, you know what I mean? And it's just like just everything working in harmony, you know what I mean? So whenever I'm doing things that are a little bit more simple, I'll try to use like higher quality stuff so it kind of ends up balancing out and still makes it a good product in the end. Last loop that we're gonna break down, and then after this we're gonna have to take suggestions and everything like that. But I had to throw in the early 2000s kind of vibe for the last one that we're gonna be doing, because you know I know that y'all rock with the early 2000s stuff, and I personally cannot get enough of it, so I'm always down to make them and talk about them and stuff like that. First things first. Ooh, is this the Iliad guitar? Ooh, Iliad guitar back to back. I just realized for the breakdowns, I chose 3 guitar loops. I didn't realize that till right now. Interesting. Very interesting, brother. All right, so this might look kind of complicated. I promise you it's much easier than you think. So we're gonna set the scale. We are in A sharp minor. In low key, let's just get rid of this right here. Let's just get rid of this, and I can show you like how to actually make midis and melodies like this. So what I like to do is I like to just get one chord. We could just do a little triad. You know what I mean? And then you just bounce it. No, play it. Hit the chord wherever you think it would be cool. You know what I mean? So I just be like, boom, boom, boom. See, it ain't gotta be perfect. That was a terrible example, but y'all get the point though. Just boom, boom. You know what I mean? Just hit it whenever you feel like it would sound cool to you. You know what I mean? In this case, we really just did this. Boom, 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 boom. And now I'm gonna show you how I ended up like taking it step by step into being something like this right here. So, boom. Okay, that's a cool little pattern. That's bouncy. That's cool. It's a great way to start. But just to make it a little bit different, we're going to change these chords. So I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're an OG viewer, you know, man. But, you know what I mean? When I pitch it up 5, that's a little high. You know what I mean? It doesn't really feel all uniform. Don't feel put together. You know what I mean? To make it a little bit closer in tone, we're going to take these top notes right here and we're going to pitch it back down. Still the same chord that we just did, but now it's just rearranged a little differently. You know what I mean? So now it sounds like 2 different chords, but it sounds a little bit more, it kind of sounds like they go together a little bit more. That was the whole point of making sure it wasn't too high. You know what I mean? And then you hit a little strum with that Alt S, or if you're on Mac, Option S, and then you just let it go. Okay, that sounds cool. And then I just started adding notes in between. And then when you're done, highlight them all and hit Alt R to randomize the velocities, or Option R if you're on Mac. And then boom, that's how I made like the little melody like that, bro. And then on the second half, I just got rid of all the in-between bouncy notes and stuff like that, just so we have a little variation. You know what I mean? Now, for some reason, with the early 2000s inspired melodies, I always go main melody, then bass, which is weird because like when I'm doing West Coast loops or any other type of loop, I never go main melody, bass. You know what I mean? I usually go like main melody, add more like counter melodies and layers and stuff like that. Then I usually end up doing the bass last. But I don't know, for some reason with the early 2K stuff, I like doing the bass right after. I think it's because it's so bouncy and melodic, so it feels like another counter melody, but I don't know. So for this one, I went into Xenology and I got the perk bass. Now with this right here, I ended up layering it with a 3X oscillator. So I cut out all of like the low end. So when I did bring in the 3X oscillator, you know what I mean, turn this one down, so only this one is playing, and then just turn the pitch of it all the way down so you don't have to pitch it to like A#1 like this one. And I just take that same pattern, put it over here. Same thing. And then y'all know me, gotta throw a lead in there. One of the most reliable leads that you can go to is the simple sign impurity. Just turn that volume down a little bit, hit the edit knob, and then just bring that like attack envelope a little bit to the right so it doesn't have that click. And then I got this pattern right here. Now, I wish I could really give y'all a breakdown on how I made this, but for a lot of my leads, I like playing them and freestyling them. So what you can do is just go to a scale that's very easy to remember. For instance, A# minor is literally all of the black keys except for F. F is within the scale, and C. So when you're trying to play the leads and everything, you know what I mean? All you have to do is just focus on the black keys. Then maybe hit a little F in there too. And then it's the early 2000 stuff, so the string runs mandatory, you know what I mean? The AX string staccato, you know what I mean? The stack, you feel me? Like, look out for words like that. Sometimes you'll see like piz, sometimes you'll see stack, sometimes you'll see like ensemble. That's a big word. Come on, quit playing with my vocab, bro. And those are just different types of strings that you could use. So like the staccato ones is going to be like more of a quick hit. The ensemble ones is going to be more of like a long note, like the blast one that we heard in the very first beat, how they're just like very long sustained notes. And then the pizzicatos are more kind of percussive, you know what I mean? Easy way to sauce up your loops, bro. Just throw a little string run in there, bro. I promise. And then just as a layer, I took a harpsichord and I put that first melody in there. This is like a last minute decision, just to kind of give like the guitar a little bit more texture. And then lastly, I just got some vocals in here. Now these vocals are actually from a contact bank called Duets. So when you're in Duets, just hit this little drop down menu right here, go to riff and run. And then all of these have like a whole bunch of different cool vocal runs for you. You feel me? And then you just mess with the one that's in key, or you can mess with one that's out of key, export it, and then pitch it up, which is what I did in this case right here. And that's how you make them early 2000s inspired melodies like your boy Infinite. So with that being said, that's going to conclude the video. My name is Devin, also go by Infinite or Powered by Infinite. Please go download the Mirage loop kit. It is free. I wanted people to use it just because I love hearing people on my loops and everything like that. So I wanted to give some out for free. You know what I mean? And also I just like throwing out free stuff to the community sometimes. So that's that, man. Peace.